home of the greatest redemption Christian second team and save the Commonwealth. So it'll be a rock. Raise the level, you know what I mean? Good to see you though.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the St. Andrew School. We're AMG at the South Kent School. Sam Spagnuolo, Anthony Camardi, Tay Lyon Vadney here with you tonight, bringing you prep basketball matchup between the Cardinals and Bradford Christian Academy. It's a big one. It's South Kent's second league matchup of the year. Bradford looking to strike early, and they do. It's a three from the corner for Gob Gabriel. South Kent coming off a very tough loss to Cushing Academy nearly a week ago. D'Souza looks to answer with a three, and he does, and we're off to a hot start here at St. Andrews. So the two teams making it difficult for me to even get any words out of my mouth. A quick dish underneath, and a turnover taken by D'Souza. Malachi back the other way. Give and go, back, and he lays it. Oh, that somehow bounced out. Jinwright looking to follow, won't go. Tapped up by D'Souza, and a scrap for the board underneath, and a foul is going to be called on Malachi. And it's on Jinwright, rather. Jaiyer grabbing underneath. So we're tied at 3 and at frenetic pace early on. I mentioned South Kent with a record of 1-4 on the year, 1-1 in league play. And that win over Worcester Academy, of course, here in this gym. And they fell to Cushing Academy last Saturday by a score of 64-56. And that was a game that was close throughout. Cushing pulled away at the end. A great block by D'Souza. And Nelson will run the floor the other way. Outlet in transition. D'Souza lays it in. And he has all 5 early on for South Kent. And the Cardinals with their first lead of the game. Oh, for Bradford. They come in with a record of 2-3 overall, 1-3 in the league as they've already played a lot of games. And we're going to have a foul again on South Kent. That's going to go on Jinwright once again, and that's 2 on Jaiyer. So Jinwright racking up fouls early on, and it'll be 2 free throws for Ronnie Silva. Silva, who we've seen so far, is lightning quick with the dribble, with everything. Starting 5 for South Kent today: Jaiyer Jinwright, Anthony Cooper, Anthony Nelson, Malachi D'Souza, and Gabe Joseph Bryan. And Silva knocks down both to tie it up at 5. Nelson going to work, kicks it back out for Jinwright. South Kent starting point guard today, now playing with 2 fouls early on as he looks to drive baseline, and they're going to call a block. That's going to go on Isaiah Holmes. So one thing that we've seen today that we don't always see at these showcase events, we should mention this is the St. Andrew School Holiday Classic, is a lot of fouls have been called early on, and that's not something that we usually see at events like this. The referees usually opt to let the boys play and try and speed up the pace of these games, but the game we saw before this that just ended, a lot of whistles, and this one with a lot of whistles as well in the early going.
I think what could be is the Zero Gravity Prep Classic was a high volume of games, that tournament, and this is, I imagine, not so as many schools in the New England area are going on break. Not so many teams in this tournament, mostly AA teams. We saw 2 games before, 2 before us, these 2 teams here, and it's a league game. It should be refereed fairly and correctly.
So South Kent looking to get above 500 in the league, and they're going to call a travel on Silva before that shot.
Yeah, Silva dragged his back foot, and the referee had his eye all over that one.
So this would be a huge win for the Cardinals. They really need to secure both of these this weekend to get to that 3-1 mark in AA going into the winter break. Anthony Cooper hangs, couldn't hit. D'Souza with the rebound, gets it taken away underneath, and Bradford comes out of the pile with it. Back in transition, they give it over to Silva. A little baseline jumper is good. Well, we're knotted at 7. 15 to go here in the first half. Live from St. Andrew's School, where South Kent has now played more games than they have in Brown Gymnasium. Kick out, Jinwright open for three, and that's off the mark. Rebounded underneath by Bradford.
Yeah, that was strong the whole way from Jinwright. As good defense by D'Souza, but he's not going to be able to hold it in. Speaking of Malachi, who's got 5 of the 7 tonight, he loves playing in this gym.
Oh, he does.
He scored 36 in the last game against Worcester Academy.
That, of course, his season high. And the night before that, he led the way for South Kent with 25 in the loss to Belmont Hill.
So he's averaging 30. Oh, no, a little over 30.
Just about, yeah. Back the other way. Nelson on the baseline drive. Gives it back for Joseph Bryant, who has it blocked.
I thought for sure that was a foul. The guy who blocked the ball had a clean block, but his arm got grabbed on the first attempt.
Nelson ahead to Jinwright. Jinwright steps inside the arc now and dish back over to Nelson. And Nelson, the Seton Hall commit, takes it to the hole, and the layup's off the mark. And Bradford will have a 2-on-1 in transition. Silva traveled. And that's the second travel on Silva. Looked like they were trying to set up the alley-oop there, but you can't take 7 steps.
Right. Now it's a couple of travels here for Silva. He's just going to continue to walk that way. See what I did there?
Dante Combs in the game for South Kent. Combs, who has battled back as D'Souza launches a long three. Combs has battled back from a dislocated pinky finger. And that was suffered just about a week and a half ago, so a pretty quick return for Dante. And the foul's on Joshua Galloway going over the back.
Yeah, Josh had his left arm over the back of the... You have a Dover roster in front of me. 24 in white. Jaiyer.
Silva drives, layup won't go, and the rebound's pulled in by D'Souza. Malachi back the other way, takes it to the bucket, and is fouled going up. He looked like he went into 3 sentinels there, and someone's going to get called for the foul. It's going to go on 14, Javon Taylor.
And one thing I noticed early on here from the Sentinels, Silva likes to take the ball and shoot.
He does.
And he also turns the ball over a great deal. First one's good for Malachi. Malachi really took over the reins of this team this year. He's the leading scorer. He's pretty much the heart and soul of this team.
Malachi averaging 25 a game in the early going. Just under 25, but we'll round up. Goes 1 of 2 there at the stripe. Back on the other end, a drive to the hole, and another foul's called on the floor.
See, I don't think there's a foul on Josh.
That's 2 on Galloway.
I don't think it's a foul.
We talked a little bit, I think it was on the last broadcast, about how Galloway just has an exorbitant amount of fouls called on him.
Hey, all he was doing was jockeying the guy. The guy put his arm into him and got the foul called. I don't think that's fair.
Gabriel has it stripped away, and Bradford back there to recover underneath. And I think they're going to count the bucket and 1.
That was Dante trying to...
It looked like the foul was well before the shot. So they're going to get Nelson with the foul. And that'll be Jordan Santos looking to make it a 3-point play. And it's good. Bradford now with a 2-point lead as they're up 10-8 in the early going. This is obviously a pivotal game for South Kent. And I think this weekend is a pivotal stretch in the season.
Oh, absolutely. If you don't come away 2-0 here, you're going to struggle to make the playoffs. As Ian Nelson has a strong drive to the hole, he gets fouled to go to the line for 2.
Foul goes on Gabriel, and Nelson will shoot 2. First one rattles in.
Second one for me, it's good. They're tied at 10. 5 minutes in.
Well, it looks like we're set up for a good battle here from St. Andrews as that three goes off glass and D'Souza comes down with the board. Malachi spins, goes up, and he's fouled, and we'll have more free throws coming for Malley as this has been just a foul fest early on. This is going to be the 21st foul called in less than 6 minutes. Did I just say it's the 21st? I meant the 11th foul called.
Yeah,
21 would be on another level.
That might be like maybe the end of the half. That'll be the total of fouls.
That's the 11th foul called. Still a lot. D'Souza's 2 for 2. I think the foul was on Agia of Bradford. And we're going to get another whistle underneath. They're going to reset the shot clock.
Yeah, 27 is on the clock. They never started it. Some good eyes there from the referee. On the year, Bradford Christian has played 4 games. They lost to Kimball Union 94-83. They squeaked out a win against Greens Farms 72-67 in the Zero Gravity Prep Classic. And then they lost to Worcester Academy 79-73 as the 3 balls hit.
That's Jordan Santos, who now has 6 for Bradford. And he gives the Sentinels a lead back.
And their 4th game against Proctor was a win 76-71 as Cooper's going to get called for a travel. And they also played Gold Academy.
They lost to Gould by about 30, but that wasn't updated on the website yet.
So they're 2 and 3. Head coach is Rob Corral. Assistant coach Lauren Green. We'll give you a little bio on those 2 coaches when we have a minute.
Now, still over 12 to go in what's been a slow game early on. Silva fires from way downtown and knocks it in.
Yeah, Silva not afraid to shoot, but he's also not afraid to score either, as he's put up
he got 7
points right now.
And that was a bomb. D'Souza with the great ball fake, takes it up, in, and 1.
That's been Malachi's bread and butter this year. Little end around, little lay-in, little finger roll.
Malley now with 10 as Michael Grigg will check in. At the last whistle, Victor Potter also in the game.
Yeah, both Dante Combs, Gabriel, Joseph Bryan have checked out.
D'Souza knocks in the free throw. That was his 5th from the charity stripe today. He's 4 of 5, and now 11 points. As he has the makings of a huge game today. We're just not even 6 minutes in.
Hey, feed the hot hand, what they say.
Silva will fire another 3, and
he's feeling it. Silva is feeling it. And he's small. He is the smallest guy on the floor. You look at him matched up with Cooper. Well, he's smaller than Cooper.
He's listed at 5'9". He's headed to Adelphi next year.
Hey, 5'9" is very generous.
Nelson gets 2 back, and South Kent forces a turnover out of the inbound. So good job there by the Cardinals.
Yeah, Malachi and Nelson there pointing in the direction of South Kent ball. The referee has back turned the play. He didn't see what happened. So he deferred to our new referees, Malachi D'Souza and Anthony Nelson.
Well, we'll take it. The inbound comes to Nelson, who drives baseline and tried to go up strong with it, but had it stripped away by Bradford. Silva nearly has it taken away by D'Souza. Silva working on D'Souza, puts up a heat check right in his face, and
that's exactly what that was, a heat check.
And that matchup right there is got about
maybe 8 inches,
10 inches.
10 inches.
I mean, if you say that Malley's 6'7", 6'6", Silva is 5'8", 5'9", maybe. As Grigg has that stuffed back the other way. Silva, he's shooting that, and that's short. I think he thought he made it.
So for Grigg there, he's got to go up with more authority. It's going to get blocked all day.
Back the other way. Cooper hits and 1.
See, it was a good move by Grigg, but when he got to the hole, he serves it up on a platter like, here, swat this. So Ant Cooper to the line. Rob Corral is been coaching for over 10 years now at AAU grades 3 through 12. He was before he coached this varsity 1 team here for Bradford Christian, he was the varsity, we'll call it the varsity B team. And he's also a longtime coach and mentor for the YMCA Boys and Girls Club in the area.
That's taken away by Cooper. Too easy for Ant as he goes coast to coast. And the follow by Potter, but I think they're going to wave it off.
Yeah, they're going to say offensive goaltending there, as they said the ball was still in the cylinder.
Well, we just got a taste of the explosive athleticism from Potter.
Hey, we've been waiting for it. We still say, will the beast be released? And I don't think he's been yet.
Maybe tonight. I think his head was above the rim there.
Yeah, for sure, and that's going to be a turnover from Bradford. And then the assistant coach, Lauren Green, as Bradford Christian calls time. And we'll take a break here as well.
So South Kent's retaking a 1-point lead, largely on the back of the early 11 from Malachi D'Souza. What else is new?
And 11 of the 20, I'll take it. And then just to round up the coach's bio, Lauren Green, the assistant coach, was a 4-year starter at St. Mary's High School in Lynn, Mass., so a local product. He also scored 1,500 points at St. Mary's, 3-time first-team All-Star, and the Catholic Conference MVP. He was also named to the Globe and Herald All-Scholastic Super Team. And he's also a state champion of Massachusetts. He attended Newberry College in Brookline, Mass. He was a team leader in scoring. And he was the head coach for the Marblehead travel team and the varsity assistant coach for his high school alma mater. So a lot of coaching experience on both sides of the docket here tonight. Of course, Coach Barton, and then Coach Kyle Callahan under his wing this year. Coach Barton has enough experience for both of them.
Out of the timeout, Nelson takes it to the hole and lays it in, and the Cardinals have a 3-point lead. This is a big stretch right here for South Kent to assert their dominance on this game. Back the other way. Go ahead.
It speaks to playing teams that are on paper not at your level, playing down to that level. And I think that's more or less what South Kent's done all year. Obviously, Woodstock was a different story, but against teams they should beat, they allow them into the game.
Well, we also, as there's going to be a foul there on Agia, we saw them play up to the level of Cushing for about 28 minutes of that game.
Yeah.
Before they let it get away from them in the last 8 or so. So,
looks like we're being the 1-on-1 here.
Yeah, Potter will have free throws. So this has the makings of a long first half, as we're just under 10 minutes to go, and both teams in the bonus already.
Well, one could say is making up for the travel time.
That's right. Making up for the time spent in traffic.
Yeah, seriously, there's a big fire in Providence when you're just getting off the highway. There was about 7 or 8 fire trucks there, and looked pretty serious. As we're going to have an and one here, looked like Potter's going to get nicked for the foul.
I didn't see too much there.
No, I didn't see it.
Might have been some contact with the body.
Yeah, I didn't see a whole lot there either. But chance here for Bradford to tie it back up. Has been a cat and mouse first half. They call it a foul first half, but cat and mouse sounds better.
That'll be Agia with the free throw. And he gets a friendly roll. Bradford is 4 of 4 from the stripe. And South Kent will walk it back down. Nelson, D'Souza, Grigg, Potter, and Cooper are the 5 for the Cardinals. Underneath, Potter comes up with it, puts that one up, won't go, and the follow by Grigg.
A good follow there by Grigg. Potter looked like he got away with steps there, but most big men do in the paint.
A good job there by Vic to save the possession underneath.
Oh, for sure.
As it looked like it was going to be a sure turnover, but he was able to come up with the loose ball. Agia steps into a 3. That's off back iron. A rebound tapped around. A little floater will go for Isaiah Holmes. And this game continues to swing back and forth. We're even at 24. Drive to the hole. Dish back to Potter, who had it stripped on the way up.
Yeah, that was all ball on the way up from Vic.
And
a turnover.
taken away once again. Potter takes it strong. Layup won't go. Follow won't go. And Bradford comes away with the loose ball. And that was just ugly.
Yeah, there's no other word for that. Really no other word.
Holmes taking it on Cooper, steps inside the arc. That's long. Rebound secured by Nelson.
On that, Vic and Malachi had a 2-on-1. I would defer to my top scorer there.
Nelson lays it in.
But it's a moot point now as South Kent now has a 2-point lead.
Well, you hope that doesn't come back to haunt South Kent.
Oh, no. Hopefully not.
They played well in the offensive end early on, but I think they still need to tighten up a little bit defensively, especially on a team that has maybe only a few scoring threats.
But Nelson's going to get called now.
Fouls have been the story of this game early on.
Is there such thing as flag basketball? Because that's what this is turning into.
Well, that was on Potter. That's his second. So now Potter and Galloway both with 2. So the front court for South Kent is challenged a little bit right now as Joseph Bryan checks in.
Yeah, I mean, like 15 fouls called? That's insane.
Agia hits the front end of the 1-and-1. Agia is playing in his hometown, or very near his hometown of Providence.
So Agia's going to check out for Taylor, Javon Taylor. Not too far away from Cambridge, Mass.
Nelson goes behind his back. Great move and lays it in. Ant Nelson has taken over this game right now as he has 10. So between D'Souza and Nelson, that's 21 of the 28.
And that's what we thought the season was going to be. Malachi and Ant really taking control. The 2 guys that have been here from last year leading the team.
So we're seeing that lethal combination go to work tonight.
Well, it was a good move there.
A drive inside, and the layup's left short, rebounded by D'Souza.
That was a good move there by Joey Merrill, just unable to convert.
Malachi looking to take it coast to coast. He's fouled. And on the way down the lane, he's so good at drawing those whistles, drawing that contact, and a lot of the time he's able to finish through the contact.
He's a great player. Malachi D'Souza is a great player. And the numbers speak for themselves.
And the thing that is so impressive about him is that he can score really at any level. He has the lethal outside shooting and can create a shot from pretty much anywhere on the floor.
Mid-range, 3-point shot, finishing at the rim, dunking. Yep.
And free throws.
And free throws, which are paramount in the game of basketball.
So for a team that has really struggled this year from the line, South Kent has been locked in tonight. They shot it well from the line, and they have a 4-point lead on Bradford. Javon Taylor looks to answer with a 3, and that's off the mark. Rebound down to Nelson.
Speaking of that point of the free throws, they are 11 of 13 tonight, and there's going to be a travel on Gabriel Joseph Bryan. So we have a timeout on the floor. So 7:06 to go here in the first half at St. Andrew's School here in Barrington, Rhode Island. So they've kind of been our home away from home this year.
It has been. Like we said, we once this weekend's over, we're going to have another one here tomorrow, of course. We'll have played twice as many games at the St. Andrew's School as we will have in Brown Gymnasium. Twice as many.
Of course, that number will drop.
Overtime.
Well, the first game out of breaks against Masters. That's going to be a home game. So, and then we wouldn't be back here until, well, should there be a playoff here against St. Andrews.
Right.
And right here in front of us, Coach Barton, not happy throwing down the notebook, and he lost his pen. So now he's looking for his pen. And we're back underway here as Bradford's back down the other way. As it's not 3 seconds called, and a deep 3. And that's wet from Joey Merrill.
So 6 of the 9 players for Bradford are now on the score sheet as they pull within 1. 30-29 is your score. 6:41 to go. D'Souza looks to answer with a 3. That's off the mark. Rebound pulled in by Grigg.
Strong rebound there from Michael Grigg to extend the possession. Now Coop for three. That's off the mark. And we have Isaiah Hall set to check in for South Kent. Not sure for who. That looked like a travel to me as he tried the Euro step going. Kick out to the corner.
Holmes for three, and that's money. So back-to-back threes for Bradford have turned what was a 4-point lead for South Kent into a 2-point deficit.
And we saw this happen against Cushing. They were up by 7, and all of a sudden, where'd that lead go?
Right. Nelson trying to even it up. That's in and out. Rebound down to Grigg. Grigg goes up strong with it, and he'll head to the line. Nearly had an N1. Good job to get that shot up.
Michael Grigg's been a good shooter at the line early this year as well.
He has been.
We'll see who Isaiah checks in for. Looks like it might be Joseph Bryan, given the look that he's been given by Coach Barton and the look that he gave back to the bench.
So Mike will have a chance to tie it up.
So Grigg now to tie it up as Agia checks in. And as expected, Joseph Bryan takes a seat for South Kent. Isaiah Hall's in, number 12.
South Kent's been getting good minutes out of Hall.
Second's good from Grigg. Yeah, Isaiah's really, when he's come in, he's ignited a little spark, a little energy off the bench. Because he's got nothing less than 100% to give.
Holmes in the corner. Kicks back out to Silva.
Silva wanted the ball. He's calling a screen. Looks like he's going to go ISO on Cooper.
Silva kicks out. Corner again. High arcing threes off the mark. Rebound tapped around out of bounds. Should be South Kent possession. And they're going to keep it with Bradford.
I don't think that's the right call. Hey, how many times do you think the referees just guess on those?
More than they'd admit. Holmes will inbound. Gets it into Silva.
Ooh.
Silva looking to blow by Nelson. Step back jumper is good. And Ronnie Silva, he's an exciting player to watch.
That was a nice move.
He's an exciting player to watch. The quickness.
That was a nice move.
Nelson looking to get back at him. Good look to find a wide open D'Souza who drives baseline, and they call the block. He'll have more free throws coming.
That was a good call by the referee. Malachi tried to sidestep him, and Merrill kind of slid his pick towards D'Souza. So it was a good call by the referee. Malachi back to the line for more.
That's the first on Merrill. Silva now with 12.
Also, while we have a minute, let's step aside from basketball. How'd your exams go today?
They went well.
First one set by Malley.
Of course, a little different scheduling this year on the hillside as exams before Christmas break. Last few years they've been in the middle of January. But I think for the most part they've gone well for me so far.
And what's good is that you're able to finish today and you're able to get here on time.
That's right. Silva drives again, puts it in, and the foul.
I just didn't see any contact there. I didn't see any contact.
I have to agree with you. They get Cooper with the foul, and Silva will now have a chance to put the Sentinels up 3.
I mean, are JT Papa and Tim Johnson going to have to dress for the rest of this one?
Well, we have now, I guess that was the 8th team foul in the Cardinals, which, if you're comparing to Bradford's 10, I guess is not as bad, but it's still, it's too many.
Yeah.
And it's not something that I think you can fault South Kent for.
No, not at all. The referees are not. No, that can't be called the charge. And Malachi's talking to the referee right now. Malachi was on his way down, and the kid, I think he screamed. I think I heard a scream.
I heard a scream too, and I saw a collision between 2 Bradford players resulting in the man go down. But for now, South Kent trails by 3, and under 5 minutes to go in this first half. Plenty of time to get back in it, but the referees are not of help to either side so far. What a block by Nelson. Back the other way, Grigg, D'Souza spins underneath, puts it up, and that won't go as Malachi is slow to get up. Back the other end, Silva to Holmes, goes baseline, missed the layup, rebound tapped around. Agia Dish underneath. Holmes is fouled by Hall, and that one was a foul.
That was a foul. But I mean, Malachi got mugged down low. Nothing got called. I don't know how they're going to call Cooper for what they called him for and not get the same call down there for Malachi.
Yeah, it's been.
I'm not saying it's one-sided, but
it's been pretty consistently bad so far.
That's a good point. But still,
I think there's been fouls called against
both teams.
Both teams
that may not have deserving.
As Holmes hits the first. And the Cardinals once again find themselves in a deficit. This is, of course, a very pivotal league game.
Very.
And I think you can attribute most of the success so far for Bradford to Ronnie Silva. When he hasn't been making shots, he's been creating shots for his teammates. So, and of course, Silva, one of the only players for Bradford that doesn't have a foul. Backing in, they're going to call a charge on Nelson. Now, I thought he might have traveled there, but I guess he extended the forearm a little bit, and tonight they're going to call just about anything. Anything and everything.
So Coach Barton wants a full timeout here. We'll take a full timeout on the floor. And, I mean, I don't know what to say about every single time somebody drives to the hole, it's a foul called. Yeah, it did look like Ant could have lowered his shoulder, but the guy's at his shoulder level.
Yeah, there have been a couple offensive fouls recently for South Kent, but if I'm the Cardinals, I'm just going to drive inside every time, and then they're going to call something.
But recently, there's been charges.
Looking at the pattern of the game as a whole,
it's not a good pattern.
No, it's not a good pattern, and they're going to call that more times than not. They're going to call something. But South Kent right now just is really struggling to get an offensive rhythm going, and I know it's tough today with all the fouls being called, but still.
Yeah, and as I'm very inadvertently eavesdropping on Coach Barton talking, saying he's embarrassing you guys, I can only think he's talking about Silva.
Has to be. D'Souza with 15 to lead the way for South Kent, and this is a day for Malachi that I can see him just exploding in that point column.
If the officiating allows it.
The officiating continues the way it will. He'll shoot 30 free throws tonight.
This is true.
So 4 minutes to go in this first half. Bradford Christian leads South Kent 39-34.
We have a number 4 on the floor for Bradford Christian. I don't have him on the roster.
Underneath, Agia finishes. I think 4 is Holmes.
Okay, so 41 on the sheet given to us by Zero Gravity, number 4 on the court.
Drive underneath, the give off.
Oh, bad pass by Isaiah, bailed out by stone hands from Bradford Christian defense.
Yeah, Hall lucky that one wasn't turned over. 3:37 to play in what's been a remarkably slow first half. Inbound comes to Cooper. Cooper drives baseline, goes up and under, missed the layup, but still able to create a good shot. Back the other way, Bradford, dish back off. Agia missed the layup. Rebound pulled in by D'Souza.
Partially blocked there by Isaiah Hall.
Malachi absorbs the contact and finishes at the rim.
Now, I forget who that last layup was attempted by, but it looks like they're trying to throw it at the backboard. As Michael Griggs strips the ball there, a chance here for South Kent.
Back the other way, Grigg with a great dish underneath. D'Souza puts it up, and he'll have 2 shots coming at the line.
I mean, and this is why I'm glad I'm not an official. That one actually looked like a block to me. Maybe it was a makeup call. I'm glad I'm not an official. That's all I can tell you.
It's a tough job.
It's a thankless job, even as a baseball umpire, which is not hard, not easy. Still a thankless job, and there's the first miss from Malachi. It's really a thankless job.
Yeah, I can imagine. Malachi goes 1 of 2 as we're on our way to an NBA score. And Malachi now with 18 here in this first half. Holmes banks it in.
That was a good finish there by Holmes with the right hand. Little sweep finish.
D'Souza. In the corner, Cooper fires a three. That's an air ball. I think that might have been partially blocked.
Yeah.
I was kind of amazed that he got the shot off to begin with, and a foul's on Grigg underneath.
Yeah, Coach Barton's beside himself right now. If you turn the ball over and or miss a shot down one end, why aren't you not sprinting back on the other end? It's inexcusable at this level. It really is. As the lead for Bradford Christian, I'm going to say, is swelling. Now 7.
Holmes now with 10.
As Nelson checks back in. You have a number of Cardinals with 2 fouls. Jinwright, Potter, Galloway, and also Anthony Nelson.
So Nelson playing with 2. He's going to have to be smart over this last 2.5 minutes. A 3 from Jinwright, and that's a big shot for the Cardinals.
Huge.
So Jaiyer, who, remember back to that opener against Post University JV, Jaiyer had 25, and we haven't really seen that scoring outburst since, as we get something called against Bradford that's going to give it to South Kent. I'm really not sure.
And Agia is going to get called.
Yeah, I really saw nothing there.
I'm not going to complain, but I'm going to agree with you, but also not complain.
They're going to march down, and South Kent will have free throws coming. Should be 2 now that they're in the double bonus.
Yes,
and I think it's going to be Hall shooting. So Isaiah, who is 2 for 2 on the season at the line. 2:20 to go in the first half. South Kent trails by 5.
Missed free throw there from Hall. My next question is St. Andrews sponsored by Domino's? Whenever we come here, we just see a load of Domino's pizza.
Yeah, that's true.
Either that or there's one nearby.
Jinwright with a great job to grab the rebound, but just missed the layup, and Bradford will march it back down. Oh, and they get a foul on Jinwright as he stole it from Silva, but instead of a breakaway layup, it's going to be free throws.
I mean, that looks like a clean pick. That looks like I kind of agree with Jinwright there, who has his hands on his head.
That's 3 on Jaiyer, and I'm kind of running out of words to describe the immense amount of fouls. It's unbelievable.
Somewhere in between the zero gravity officiating and this officiating is good officiating.
Yeah, somewhere in between.
Just a little bit in between would be nice. Like, you want to get something called for...
I wonder what referees do at halftime of a game like this. Like, do they go back to their locker room and say, hey, we gotta scale it back a little bit? Or do they... do they notice when it's this many fouls being called? I don't know.
They must.
D'Souza, pump fakes on a 3. Hall. Nelson, top of the key. Cardinals trail by 6. Nelson going to work inside.
Oh, great
Quick
pass.
feed underneath, and Malachi with the finish.
Great pass, great post there by D'Souza. And D'Souza unable to get it, and Bradford saves it.
Taylor underneath, out to Agia. Gob Gabriel will fire a 3, and that's off the mark and rebounded by Nelson. So with 1.5 minutes to go, South Kent looking to further cut into this lead. Cooper pump fakes on a 3. Cooper drives, can't finish, and rebounded by Bradford. And back on the other end of the floor, Silva comes up with it.
This is turning into a track meet.
Silva looking to take it on D'Souza with the quick dribble.
Malachi, good job to stay with Silva there, who's actually got pretty good handles, to be honest.
Oh, he really does. And it's such a mismatch. See if he can stick with him here.
6 on the clock, a bomb thrown up from Silva.
That's long.
And why is nobody on that rebound? Michael Grigg was just standing there watching it.
That's one that they just have to secure.
They just got there just standing there watching it. So a new shot clock for Bradford.
Underneath.
Good block by Cooper. Except Cooper, when he regained possession of it, was on the baseline. So it'd be.
I am shocked that there was no foul called there.
So was I. I was waiting for it. I was bracing for the whistle. So 15 on the clock for Bradford when they inbound the ball.
Taylor underneath gets it into Agia. Agia, step back, tough shot, and that's good.
So nice fadeaway there from Agia. Malachi spots up and nails it.
D'Souza answers with the three, and just an unbelievable first half for Malachi.
As Silva now back the other way with it, as Malachi just continues to light up the scoreboard. And
23 first half points for Malachi D'Souza.
looking
And
at
they
charge
call a charge.
on Javon Taylor as he lowered his shoulder on the drive to the hoop, and the foul fest continues.
That's 3 now on Taylor.
So, I mean sooner Coach Callahan's got to suit up if they keep calling these fouls. So hope he brought his sneakers with him.
No, South Kent will hold for the final shot.
I mean, unless you have your sneakers with you, you're still in high school, you could play.
I do, actually, and South Kent won't hold for the final shot as they turn it over. Sloppy possession there, and Bradford will have a chance to build on this 3-point lead going into halftime.
And you think Silva's going to take the final shot?
I think he is. He sprints it back down, and he turns it over. So 2.5 on the clock, and it'll be South Kent possession.
Okay, he was going a little too fast for his liking, or he was too fast for his own self there. And now Nelson's going to have a chance for it.
Nelson over to Cooper. He gets it off and beats the buzzer.
That's an awesome play for South Kent. Smart by Nelson to leave the ball until he got the half court before he touched it. Pass up. Kicked it out to Coop. Coop makes the runner.
That's a great play.
That's a great play. And momentum.
Maybe you put that one in the archives, and if we're ever in a late game situation, that's a great play to run.
That's a great play. And, hey, remember that going into the half. South Kent could be big. Could be big. 1 point game, believe it or not.
Yeah. At the half, South Kent trails Bradford Christian 48-47 in an extremely high-scoring affair. And Malachi D'Souza leading with 23 points at the half. So he'll look to continue to ignite the South Kent offense in the second half. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Sam Spagnola with Anthony Camardi, Taylai, and Vadney on camera. We're AMG the South Kent School. Thanks for tuning in. And don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the St. Andrew School. South Kent in a dogfight with Bradford Christian. They trail 48-47 at the break, leading the way for South Kent. Malachi D'Souza with 23 big points. Anthony Nelson with 10. Anthony Cooper and Jaiyer Jinwright with 5. And right out of the timeout, a long three attempted by D'Souza. Cleaned up underneath by Nelson, but off the mark. A jump ball is called, and possession is going to give it back to Bradford.
So Chris Scaife checking in for the first time today. Already puts a stamp on the game.
Yeah, a little bit of a
forces a jump ball.
A little bit of a different lineup out of the timeout. Anthony Cooper, Isaiah Hall, Anthony Nelson, Chris Scaife, and of course Malachi D'Souza.
Now, before we get deep into commentary here, as Holmes decides to knock down a three, Ant Nelson on that last trip down the court. Why does it seem like every single layup today is like forced? They're at the rim and they just throw it at the backboard, trying to spin it in. Just lay it in. It's a layup. You don't have to make it look pretty. If it goes in, it's 2 points.
Yeah, I'm still looking back at that unbelievable play to end the first half. That might be the best play that South Kent's ran this year.
That wouldn't be far from it.
Nelson's long on the first. And headed to Seton Hall. He will have a chance to make it a one-possession game with this free throw. And that's money. A very high-scoring first half, and we saw a high amount of whistles as well to go with that. Agia fires a three. That's short, rebounded by Hall. And back the other way, we'll see if South Kent can set something up offensively. Cooper fires a deep three, and we're tied.
Now, Ant Cooper,
that's a bomb from Cooper.
He likes that spot. In the game against Worcester, he had a similar shot from a similar spot. I'm pretty sure Ant Nelson also passed the ball to him in that situation, too.
Yeah, very similar. And it appears that he likes playing in this gym as well.
Yeah.
We know D'Souza loves it. Drive to the hole for Gabriel. Puts it up high off the window. Won't go. South Kent in transition. Nelson, one-on-one, gets around the defender and lays it in. What a move from Ant Nelson.
And that's the Ant Nelson we saw last year and what we've seen more of tonight.
And now with 13, and the Cardinals with their first lead since, say, about 5 minutes to go in that first half.
Right.
Silva looking to tie it up. Quick dribble, step back, jumper's good.
Silva's good.
He's very good. He has 18. And he's a steal for Adelphi.
For sure.
D'Souza with the layup.
Strong finish there from Malachi, bringing his total to a quarter century.
He might get there if this game goes the way it went in the first half.
Well, he did tell me this year, he goes, yo, I'm going to drop 50 at one game this year. He might do it tonight.
Could be. Three from the top of the key.
That was
just
a laser beam from Jordan Santos.
Nelson. Drives inside.
Oh.
And tried to fit it in underneath. Lucky to get it back. There just wasn't too much of a window to get that ball into Isaiah Hall.
No, but I like the fact that Ant Nelson is trying to get his teammates involved.
Cooper.
Much like theirs, as ambitious.
Hall with the rebound and the putback.
Got to reward the effort, as we're going to have a timeout on the floor called by Bradford Christian.
So the Cardinals come out of the break
with some fire.
With some fire, strong presence on the floor, and they have a 4-point lead.
I'm going to tell you something right now. When they beat Worcester Academy, the five they had on the floor, with the five they have on the floor right now,
I think that's no coincidence. And for whatever reason, that five has just gelled the best.
They gel. There's no other way to put it but chemistry. And when you have chemistry, don't mess with it. Now, the rest of the game is at the hands of, well, A, the officials, and B, the coaches. And the players, I guess, because they play it.
Right.
But I would keep these five on the floor for as long as I can if I'm Coach Barton. Yeah, every now and then they need a breather, but these are the five that produce results. Bradford Christian ball coming out of the break, and those five remain out there.
Gabriel will inbound. Cobb Gabriel is the younger brother of Wenyon Gabriel, who, of course, starred for Wilbraham and Monson a couple years ago, now playing a big role at Kentucky. A lefty three from the corner is good. And Joey Merrill with his second tray of the night. And he pulls the Sentinels within one.
Anthony Nelson, not the only sweet shooting lefty we have out here.
Nelson with the drive, and he's fouled on the way up.
So I think they could rename this tournament the St. Andrews Foul Fest. As there's 4 now. 4 fouls now on Agia.
That was on.
I
believe that was on Gabriel.
Or do they both have 4? One of them has 4. I don't know. I saw the bench.
That's Gabriel then, as he's on his way off.
Yeah.
And that would make sense. Gabriel with, if not the best, at least the most highly recruited player on this team, and he hasn't played the majority of the first half with foul trouble, and now he's going to be sent to the bench once again. The free throw is good for Nelson.
I wasn't sure if you had seen who they called the foul on and marked it.
I think I missed one in the first half.
Okay, yeah.
Hard to believe, right?
But there was only 27 called.
And that one right into the lap of Isaiah Hall. Hall will run the floor, goes up strong with it, and loses it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Cardinals.
Yeah, it looked like Isaiah was trying to wait for his teammates there. He saw nobody, and he's like, you know what, I'll take it to the hole, see what I can create. And he drew a foul. But they're going to call it on the floor.
Cooper inbounds to Nelson. Nelson goes baseline and is fouled by Agia, who now has 4 of his own.
So the referee staying status quo with their officiating.
And the thing about that is that those two, besides being maybe the best 2 players outside of Silver, they're the only 2 with any kind of size.
Yeah.
Great look. Extra pass in the corner. Nelson for 3.
Oh, they're going to call 3 seconds. Looks like they got Hall with 3 seconds.
Isaiah's,
wouldn't be the first time that Anthony Cooper had the 3 ball taken away from him.
That's right. It was really the play that swung the game in the loss to Cushing. 3 was called off. Did they call it? What was the call there?
I'm trying to think.
I think it was a foul on the floor against Cushing. As a 3 from Silva in the corner is good, and we're tied at 59.
It was, and the ensuing inbound was a turnover or something like that. And and then Cushing came back down the other end and scored.
D'Souza looking to answer. Silva was short with the 3. Silva drives to the hole, dishes back to Agia, who throws down the hammer.
And unfortunately, Chris Scaife gets put on a poster right there.
Wow.
So we had a 3-point lead. Cooper's 3 got waved off, would have been a 6-point lead. We're now in a 2-point deficit. That's a carbon copy.
It is. And another turnover as Bradford kicks it around, and it'll stay with South Kent. Yeah, not the kind of deja vu you want to see.
No. Hate to see it.
Really do. But highlight reel dunk. Say the least,
that was
Agia.
That was a poster. I think the referees are trying to discuss the shot clock here as there was no change of possession. Let's see what they're going to arbitrarily put up here.
I think
15 seconds they're going to put up.
D'Souza, who had 23 in the first half, he's been a little quiet here in the second half. Maybe time for him to assert himself. Just as I say that, the inbound comes to him. Looking to create that shot. Kicks out to Scaife, who drives to the hole and left the layup short. And that's what you were just talking about with the layups with Nelson. That's short. Scaife with the board. Scaife will run the floor.
Oh, my.
And nearly a sloppy turnover. Comes into the hands of Nelson. They go baseline for Scaife, who lays it in.
Now, Scaife there had some happy feet. Almost got caught dancing.
And South Kent with another steal as Merrill coughed it up.
And again, it's...
Nelson is fouled.
I thought he was going to call a charge when Silva fell over.
Yeah, you got to hesitate a little bit in our commentary tonight.
He did a jump stop and straight up. As Silva's, I don't know.
Yeah, Silva's got to be a little confused about that call.
Like, if anything there, that's a no call. And I'm defending Silva on that one. I didn't see anything. It's more or less just a no call.
I think I'd just eat the whistle there. But, I mean, I'm not wearing the stripes.
No, neither of us are. If we were, there wouldn't be as many fouls called.
No, there wouldn't be. So Nelson is 2 for 2 from the stripe.
I'm very content
Now
with
is
the.
17.
I'm very content with the headset on.
On the floor, they're going to get a foul on somebody who jumped on the back of Agia.
I think they're going to get Scaife there because Scaife was, well, really on on his back.
Yeah.
Should we call it 2nd and 10?
And that's just the first foul of the half on South Kent.
Shot clock will reset on the foul call.
Bradford will throw in. Get it into Silva. At this point in this game, South Kent's already scored more than they have in the past 2. Silva defended well.
Almost a 5-second count on Silva. Good
Merrill.
D there on. Nelson tipped it away from Merrill, but nobody there to collect it. It'll be 13 on the clock for St. Andrews as they'll set the inbound. Merrill to the corner. Silva, quick 3.
That's going to be short. I think South Kent may have gotten a hand on that. Back the other way, D'Souza's fouled.
He's going to say on the floor, no continuation. But I still like the effort and the spark that Scaife has provided off the bench. He's already got a handful of rebounds.
Yeah, it's been good. And especially for a team that... Cooper throws into D'Souza. Quick find underneath for Scaife, who looked like he may have had it partially blocked from underneath, but still, you have to finish those.
Oh, for sure. And again, a layup that was jettisoned at the backboard. That's and I again, proven that I am completely, I'm impartial here, being objective. That was out of bounds on South Kent.
We're not right there, but I mean,
again, but
here,
still from here.
Yeah. South Kent playing with a 2-point lead as they're currently on a 5-0 run. Nelson comes up with the loose ball, goes up with the left hand, and a little jump hook there from Nelson. It's like a post move. He's got 19.
It's something else about, like, I'm not gonna talk about bad officiating, but the flow of the game controlled by the officials. If one call is made later in the game that might not be a good one, if they hadn't made so many calls earlier in the game that were questioned, it might go unnoticed.
Right. Joseph Bryan is set to check in.
Along with Jinwright there.
Yep. Cooper with a quick 3, and that's in and out. Hall with the board.
So again, Isaiah Hall, Chris Scaife providing effort and sparks off the bench with rebounds. Not scoring, but giving rebounds and playing good defense. And from your role players.
And another foul on the floor against Bradford.
Malachi very upset there with Isaiah Hall.
That's on Silva, who now has 3 fouls.
He's just saying that Silva grabbed onto Chris Scaife's leg as he's just about at his leg level. But Malachi had Silva down low as Hall and Chris Scaife get awarded or congratulated from their coach. Malachi had Silva posted up down low. That's an incredible mismatch. I don't know why you don't feed Malachi. Malachi, man, Isaiah, know it. Ant wants the ball now, gets it. And Anthony called for offensive. So
I'll hold my tongue.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
That's 3 on Ant, as Bradford will get it back with a chance to tie or take the lead. 11:02 to go. This is the St. Andrews School Holiday Classic. South Kent taking on Bradford Christian in a NEPSAC AA matchup, a pivotal game. It's been close throughout. South Kent with the 2-point lead.
Now, what South Kent really needs to do is take advantage with Silva out.
Right. They have David Giuggio in the game.
That looks like steps to me.
Holmes ties it up.
Oh, man, I'm glad I'm not an official. Or I'm glad I'm not a coach. I might have got thrown out of this game by now.
Nelson, hesitation on the drive, puts it up, and he's fouled. So
this cat and mouse game stays pretty cat and mousey. And Ant Nelson goes to the line to take a 1-point lead. The ebbs and flows of a basketball game cease to amaze me. And that's with the exception of the Woodstock game. It's been every single game this year for South Kent. Ebbs and flows. As Nelson can't get that one to go.
Kwani Tang checks in for Bradford, replacing Ajia, who has 4. And the second is good for Nelson.
So South Kent with an albeit slim lead.
This is David Giugio. Apologize if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Holmes kicks back. Giugio for 3. That's short. Rebound tapped up and taken by Nelson. And a great feed up to D'Souza. Back the other way. Malachi lays it in. That's too easy for Mally. And when you get a feed like that from Nelson, that's the basketball that we need to see more of from South Kent. And on the other end, I think they're going to get a foul on
They're going to get Nelson. He's got 4 now. And Malachi's on his way to at least 30. He's got 27. I think Nelson has 4. That's not good.
Well, on our count, he has 4. That'll put Holmes at the line.
And Coach Barton's going to let him go.
Holmes is short. And that one in and out, rebounded by D'Souza. So, big pair of free throws missed from Isaiah Holmes. And South Kent continues to hold this 3-point lead. A drive for Cooper. And Cooper now with 10 and a timeout taken by Bradford as the Cardinals have been opened up a 5-point lead.
So, good work there by South Kent to at least get back a 5-point lead. Malachi and Cooper leading the way. Nelson also playing well here in the second half as he has 10 second half points. He's got 20 now.
So 9:41 to go. The Cardinals hold a 5-point lead, and we'll be back in just a minute. We have a timeout on the floor. The inbound for Holmes. Cardinals with a 5-point lead. Bradford will look to get it back. Ajia with a nice bounce pass underneath and the backdoor cut. Gabriel lays it in. So the Sentinels get 2 back as South Kent continues to hold that lead. Nelson underneath, won't go. Tap back up and in by D'Souza. And that's just great work crashing the boards by Malachi. Gabriel looking to blow by Nelson, has it stripped and taken away. Back in transition, they throw it ahead to D'Souza. D'Souza takes it strong and lays it in. Now 31 for Malachi D'Souza, and it's a big lead for South Kent, the biggest of the game. On the other end, a one-handed flush from Gabriel. Gob Gabriel now with 7, and it's a 5-point lead for South Kent. Is out of this timeout. It's just a frenetic pace. And they're going to call a kick ball against BCA that will keep it with South Kent.
Not a foul?
Not a foul.
I'm kidding.
Not a foul.
So
Jinwright will inbound for the Cardinals. Into D'Souza. Hands off back to Jaiyer. Jaiyer trying to create a shot. And back to Cooper at the top of the key. Cooper. Drive to the bucket with the right hand, puts it in. Anthony Cooper starting to assert himself a little more here in the second half. He has 12, and the Cardinals have a 7-point lead. And the Cardinals have to put the nail in the coffin here. It's just you can't let Bradford hang around when you've opened up a lead like this.
No.
Gabriel misses the layup, the follow by Agia.
Yeah, Agia, your big 6'6". Him and Gabriel, the only size on this team. And Agia has more, I'm going to say more size just by weight on Gabriel.
Yeah, by bulk. They throw it underneath to D'Souza. D'Souza, who's playing the 5 right now, is fouled.
I think that's 5 on Silva. Oh, they're going to get on Agia.
Who'd they get it on, 4?
No, they gave it to Agia.
Well, from our count, that would be 5. Are you sure they didn't say 4?
I thought I heard 24. But would that foul have given Holmes 4 fouls?
That would have been 4 on Holmes.
That could be it.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
So Malachi hits them both. 78-71. The 7-point lead has stayed much intact. 6 points. No, that's 7. Never mind. At the push-off, that's got to come this way. Yes, it does. Referee made the right call there.
And that's on Holmes, and that's got to be 5.
That should be 5 now.
Somebody has 5.
Somebody.
That's Holmes. So he's out. So they now down one of their key players. Isaiah Holmes will finish with 16.
Jordan Santos checked in for Holmes.
So this foul fest of a game has claimed its first victim.
As Nelson finishes again at the hole.
Great 1-2 punch today for South Kent. D'Souza with 33, Nelson with 22. And that's, I think, what we thought we'd see a little more of coming into this year. We've obviously seen it from D'Souza. Nelson has been a little bit inconsistent on the scoring end, and somehow Agier gets that shot to go.
That was a nice little move. He's very nimble for a big man.
I'm not sure what position he'd play at the next level. I mean, he'd be a wing, I guess.
A 3 or 4.
3 for D'Souza, knocked in, and he's just locked in right now.
All season he's been locked in. He gave a little look at the few standing in the corner there as saying, let's go.
36 now for Malachi, and that, of course, matches his season high and his total that we saw in this gym. And back on the other end, Hall hits the floor for it. Oh, and they're going to give it over to Bradford.
Either way, it's backcourt, isn't it?
Well, not if South
it's off South Kent.
Yeah.
You're right. That's so weird.
So it's a 10-point lead now for the Cardinals as this game is picked up in pace like nothing we've seen so far today. A 3 for Gabriel is off the mark, and you can tell that Gob Gabriel is still a little raw with his skill set. Jinwright pulls up for 3. That's off back iron.
Jinwright felt good. He felt good about that one. Stepped right into it. Not a bad shot.
Gabriel pulls up. That's long. Rebound pulled in underneath by Silva, and a vicious block by D'Souza.
Yeah, Malachi shut the door there. He's like, I'm a foot taller than you. You're not shooting that over me.
Nelson drives, and they get a foul on Santos. Or that's Merrill on the way in, and it should be free throws for Nelson, 2 of them.
And Coach Barton politely asks the referee for a timeout, and the referee obliges. And Coach Barton wants a full time. So we'll take full time as well.
We've opened up a 10-point lead, and D'Souza with 36 right now leading the way. We'll be back. Out of the timeout, it'll be 2 free throws for Nelson. Chance to make it a 12-point lead for the Cardinals. First rattles in for Ant.
When's the last time South Kent, I'm not trying to jinx this, when's the last time South Kent's had 2 30-point scores in the same game?
I might have to look back in the record books for that one, but I really wish you hadn't said that.
I did preface it.
Nelson with 23, so he could definitely get there. Back the other way, Jinwright will back it out, and D'Souza just begging for the ball right now. He's going to score it any way he can. Nelson over to Jinwright.
Coach Barton coaching very well there. Don't force it, you have time.
Now 10 on the shot clock. Nelson drives inside, kick over to Cooper. Cooper falling away 3. That's long, rebounded by Bradford. And a loose ball comes right to South Kent, and Isaiah Hall lays it in, and the foul.
A late foul, albeit a late foul, but hey, will we complain? Absolutely not.
And they get the foul on Silva. That's now 4 on the point guard.
And I will agree with the Bradford coach. That was a very late call.
Yeah, not saying it wasn't a foul, but it was the timing of it was a little off.
Hey, that's what I don't like. If you're going to call the foul, call it on the shot. Don't wait till you see
like
whether it
you're
goes in or
waiting
not.
to see whether he makes the basket to call it, and they get a foul, a little reach in, I think, on Jinwright.
Yeah, that might have been a makeup call.
That's 4 now on Jaiyer. It's the 4th team foul on the Cardinals. And it'll be a throw in for Tang underneath. Into Gabriel. Gabriel drives by Cooper. The layup won't go. Rebound knocked out and saved by Gabriel, but right to South Kent.
You know who Gabriel reminds me of? Oh!
They threw the lob to Nelson there.
Yeah,
Who does he remind you of?
That lob was a little too close to the rim. His game reminds me a lot of Brandon Ingram. Long, lengthy.
Mm-hmm. And that's how, I don't know if you've ever seen his brother play, Wenyan, but that's how he plays. And you can tell that the skill set's there. Like I said, it's just a little raw for him right now. Jinwright drives, and he's fouled.
Yeah, Jinwright created the traffic there, driving to the hole. And Jinwright's had a little spark in him today. He's played very strong today. As sooner or later, Bradford's going to run out of players.
Well, nobody else is fouled out yet, and were we wrong about Holmes fouling out?
We may have been.
I swear that the referee held his hands up the 5, but Holmes is back in. So I think, do you remember that game a couple years ago where Matt Moyer got away with like 8 fouls?
I do.
We'll see if we have a repeat of that here tonight. So I guess nobody's fouled out so far. Jinwright goes 1 of 2.
So Michael Grigg checks in for Jinwright, who gave good minutes tonight for Jinwright all around. He started off a little shaky, but really came into his own tonight.
Gabriel. Kick out. Back to him. Looks like he wants to take that shot. Swings it over to Holmes. Holmes working on Cooper. Under 5 to go now. South Kent with a 14-point lead, which is their largest of the night.
5 on the clock.
He's going to have to hoist that up. A lot of dribbling, and that's a shot clock violation. Great defense for South Kent.
And that just speaks to what you were talking about, him being raw. There's no shot clock awareness there.
Right. Nelson drives all the way and lays it in.
That was more or less too easy for Ant Nelson.
And there's hardly any contest there from Bradford. Let's see if D'Souza can do the same. D'Souza takes it strong to the hole, puts it up, and they call a charge. And that could have gone either way. That's the second on Malley.
I mean, De Silva was back step. He was backpedaling. Silva was backpedaling. And I think Malachi knows it too. It's just whatever, man. Just you're gonna call what you're gonna call. So that's why I didn't argue.
At this point, South Kent seems to have it under control, and the last thing you want to do is get teed up in a situation like that. last thing you want to do is get teed up and
Right, exactly.
give some free points to your
Exactly.
opponent. Silva with a quick dribble and couldn't finish, but did everything else right. Back on the other end, Nelson. Drive, and kick, spin move by Hall, and he lays it in.
Great move by Hall.
That gets the bench fired up. Isaiah now with 6, and that was a pretty bucket.
You know who the loudest Cardinal was on the bench there? JT Papa.
Yep. On the other end, Hall is whistled for the foul.
The game giveth, the game taketh.
A beautiful spin move there. And reminiscent of another spin move we saw courtesy of Malachi D'Souza last time we were in this gym. And that rebound is too easy for D'Souza as nobody from Bradford contesting anymore. Not really much of a sense of urgency anymore. Nelson over to Cooper. Cooper drives, goes up strong, and the block's called on Silva. And I believe that's 5. I'm going to say I believe because nothing's for certain the way
Not
we've
tonight.
seen it tonight.
Not tonight.
And that's 5.
I mean, though I like Silva's game and I love the way he played tonight, just all-out effort, which at that size kind of has to be.
He'll be a great D2
He'll
player.
be a great D2 player. But my one thing with him is he tried to draw a charge on every single drive.
Right.
When
And
you try
that
to
ended
do
up
that,
backfiring
you're gonna lose that battle. I don't care what level you play at. Not everyone's gonna get called a charge. This is more or less you got to pick and choose.
Second is short, and Michael Grigg with a big offensive rebound. Lost it out of bounds, however. But Coach Barton applauding the hustle regardless. Under 3 to go. South Kent's opened up a 19-point lead. Gabriel drives baseline, and they should just let him have that.
Yeah,
you see that? That's an impressive vertical.
Yeah, he got up. He got way up.
Gabriel with 9 for the Sentinels. D'Souza is sitting at 36, which ties his season high. Underneath, Hall couldn't finish. Cooper, no. Tap back out and taken in transition by Gabriel. Gabriel. Holmes, open 3, and he knocks it in. And just like that, it's a 14-point game.
So, coming up at about 2 minutes to go, Cooper to the lane, and he gets the roll. And Cooper's scored a little bit here in the second half. See, he's definitely in double digits.
Holmes for 3 again. That won't go.
15 for Cooper.
Gabriel skied in to try to get the follow, but couldn't get it to drop.
And those 3 Cardinals in double figures.
Nelson is called for a charge.
And now here we go again. Yeah, it was a charge. Why wait to call it until after? Why wait to call it?
And I think that's, it's been an odd night of refereeing, just all around.
All around night.
As looks like Grigg's going to check out after that pass. Hall will check in. And I understand when you're when you're milking this lead with 1:26 left, you got to use a shot clock
and be smart. As Coach Barton, quick trigger there on Grigg. That's an inexcusable turnover, really.
The only way, and I mean the only way that Bradford can get back in this game is turnovers.
Right.
And quick turnovers, and a lot of them, and a lot of made threes.
And that's not one. And there's Cooper with the rebound, and he's going to take time.
Cooper, feed underneath for D'Souza, who stuffs it home. He's got 38.
So you think he knows how many points he has?
I
don't think so.
No. We came over and asked us after the last one. No.
I hope they give him the ball.
Yeah.
I hope they give him the ball.
Nelson.
What a move put on by Ant Nelson.
Hangs, couldn't hit, and Bradford comes down with the rebound.
If they get a quick shot here and South Kent wants to go.
Yeah, and Holmes will take it. And he
Oh.
knocks in the three. Nice game for Isaiah Holmes as he has 22. And South Kent will have to take another shot. They get it to D'Souza, and good job to let it go out of bounds. It was tipped by Holmes.
Oh, Malley had it. He would have had it right there. See if D'Souza's going to get it here. Give it to him. Give him the 40. Give him the 40. ISO. Sorry, I'm kind of coaching right now instead of commentating, but I want him to get 40.
Be the first 40-point scorer over the last 2 years, that's for sure.
And South Kent are going to run the clock down as Cooper's going to run it all the way down. No foul.
And Jinwright will take it, as that's going to be the game. So they'll waive off the shot clock violation. And your final, South Kent 96, Bradford Christian 81. It's a hard-fought win for South Kent here tonight. They overcame a lot of adversity, a lot of fouls, and a 1-point deficit at the half to win it going away. Malachi D'Souza leading your scores with 38. And just a huge night for Mally again. He loves this gym.
Yeah, I needed Malachi D'Souza, 38 points. Anthony Nelson, I believe he finished the night with 25, I want to say. Ant Cooper at 15.
Yeah, 25 for Nelson.
So South Kent improved their record to 2-3, 2-1 in the league, and honestly, a win they needed.
Mm-hmm.
A win they desperately needed. Tomorrow will be more of the same against Brimmer and May. You have to feed on what I'm going to call the bottom dwellers.
Yeah, and as much as you hate to put it that way, that's kind of the way it's going to go this year for South Kent. The top of the league, very strong.
Very strong.
And it looks like it's going to be competitive all throughout, as we saw the game before as a tightly contested 1-point win for Worcester Academy over Bradford Christian. The game right now is the class of AA between Tilton and McDuffie. So that's going to do it as South Kent comes away with a 15-point lead. We thank everybody for tuning in. And D'Souza leads the way with 38, Nelson with 25, and a big win for South Kent as they look to get this season going in the right direction.
Yeah, so we'll be here tomorrow versus Brimmer and May.
Hopefully you'll be here with us tomorrow too. It'll be a 2:30 tip, I believe.
2:30.
And the Cardinals looking to improve their AA record to 3-1. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We are AMG South Kent Schools, Sam Spagnola with Anthony Camardi and Taylor Vadney. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.